Another non-conference upset in college basketball. We're just getting more and more as we get the season coming along. We're only 1 week in to the regular season of college basketball. We already have so much to talk about. And this one, Steve, we're going to talk about the Colorado Buffaloes, one of our sleeper picks in the Pac-12 this year, beating ranked Tennessee, a team that we believe can go pretty far in this tournament. But first, they couldn't get through Colorado and the Buffaloes. They lose 78-66 on Sunday night, led by Simpson, who just completely took over this game, Steve.
It was a joy to watch this game, this afternoon. And even with Tennessee leading, for a good part of the early part of the game, all of the highlights really were not just Simpson, but it was Colorado. I mean, Colorado shown, and I know you're very, very high on Colorado, and I was very much, I want to see them play. Well, I've seen them play, and if they play defense like they did today against Tennessee, Colorado is going to be challenging seriously the top of the Pac-12, not just trying to be one of those little sleeper teams that maybe get an NCAA bid. Colorado just opened my eyes to how good they can be. I don't know that I'm worried about Tennessee, but they certainly had some defensive lapses, and that's sort of like a calling card for a Tennessee team as well. Mm-hmm. And KJ Simpson's going to be a star. He's only a sophomore. Yeah. He has as good a chance as any of the big freshmen we were talking about when we were doing our Pac-12 previews to really be a dominant force over the next 2 or 3 years should he stay through, going out from there. He was 7 for 16 from the floor. He had 2 3-pointers. He had 10 rebounds. 3 assists, and not like 10 like cheap rebounds. The ball bounced back hard off the rim and he just happened to be there to catch it. He had 10 rebounds. Yeah. I mean, he was involved in every aspect of this game. And then another guy that I think we need to keep an eye on, and he's a JUCO transfer, Javon Hadley. He's listed as a guard, but he's 6'6", 6'7", and they liked his rebounding ability, at the JUCO level, and he has a physicality that will probably see him play kind of a hybrid role there in the thing. He had 10 rebounds in this one as well. Tristan Da Silva played some productive minutes. They need him to score. His 14 points, again, bode well. He had a big 3-pointer from the top of the key that pretty much eliminated any hope for the Volunteers to get back in this game.
Yeah.
Tennessee, there's a lot of talent there.
I really like this Colorado squad. Before we dig into Tennessee real quick, I mean, I was nervous that I was going to eat my words really early in the year after seeing them lose, pretty bad to Grambling earlier in the season. I mean, they were just outpaced. They lost that game. They deserved to lose that game. But then you saw Colorado really step it up in the second half in this one against Tennessee and take over this game, led by Simpson, if you will. And it really made you remind yourself, okay, like first it's early in the season, we get it. But also there's a reason why we believe this team could be a sleeper pick in the Pac-12, and we were just showed right there. As for Tennessee, though, not everything was terrible in this one. They definitely did show some signs of good, but I do think there's a lot of question marks moving forward in the season that we are going to have to get solved out quickly. Tennessee looked decent. Ziegler had 12 points. We saw Key and James coming off the bench, both with 15. A lot of issues, though, I believe, with some of their issues, some of their forward play. I think a lot of the play down low was rough for Tennessee, and I think that's what really hurt them. I think they got crushed in the rebounding game, 47-38. And that, it doesn't sound like a huge number when it's only 9, but plus 9 when it comes down to only a 12-point lead. That's exactly probably the biggest thing that hurt them right off the bat was the rebounding game. Tennessee's got to get that figured out, especially when they get into SEC play, Steve.
Yeah, but they only shot 27% from the field today. That is how smothering Colorado's defense was. But it wasn't just how good Colorado's defense is. Tennessee, their perimeter game was invisible for most of the second half. So I was a little nervous. I mean, again, it's early in the year. You know, you can't get too involved, but you would think that Tennessee would say, okay, we've got this Colorado team,
Mm-hmm.
kind of back on its heels because they got taken to school by Grambling.
Right.
Credit to Tad Boyle. I mean, basically, that game was erased from any memories, I think, of maybe the Colorado fans still have that memory, but as far as the players, it's like it never happened. And Tennessee, everything has to go right for them to go deep. But this type of a game against a quality opponent, and I don't know, having now watched Colorado play, I don't know that I would say this was an upset because we both think that Colorado can make some noise out of the Pac-12, but Tennessee's got to find it, and they got to find it quickly.
Yeah,
because they can't go into SEC play still trying to figure things out and not sure what the rotation is or whether they have the inside game. Can the defense hold up? They've got to figure some things out really quickly, and perhaps this is a wake-up call so the players take it a little bit more seriously the next couple of days in practice.
Colorado will head to Myrtle Beach for the Myrtle Beach Invitational. As for Tennessee, they finished the month of November out. They hope to be easy. They ended off against McNeese, then Butler, and the Bad Boys Mowers battle for Atlantis. So that's always a fun one. But next Wednesday, their next game of the year is against Florida Gulf Coast. And you think that'd be an easy one, but this is a team that upset USC at the beginning of the year, one of those buy-in games for USC. Tennessee is a great game for them to rebound. A team that has already shown they can upset a team that could be ranked at one point in the season later on. USC is one of those borderline teams, if you will. Tennessee really has a shot here. This is not going to be a walk in the park. They really have to show up. And I think that all leads to, one, shooting better. They can't shoot less than 30%. That obviously can't happen. And they have to win that rebounding game. All that's going to happen on Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern on the SEC Network and ESPN+.